Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and complete construction 4 and 5 from your book. And so if you notice 4, it says construct a perpendicular through a point on the line. And so basically what we're saying is that we want to draw a line through this point. And we want to make sure that that line that goes through this point is perpendicular. And so the very first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get my compass. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and place my compass tip right on that point. Okay. Now I'm also going to close my compass so that it can make an arc right there. You see that? Okay. And I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do it, that's the shortest distance. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make a arc. Now notice you're going to also do the same thing on the other side.
Keep the length.
Okay. Keep the length the same. Okay, so notice how the length is now the same. I just moved it so that it's on this other side, and there you go. So that distance is the same. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those 2 blue arcs, and those are what we're going to deal with for the next step.
Ooh,
okay, got an idea?
I think I know how to do it.
Couldn't you just do it the same way we did the angle bisectors?
Can't you just put it on that side?
Why can't you just measure the arrow and the point and then make another one and then make a dash over there and then...
That's essentially what we're doing.
Oh.
Okay, by putting these 2, we're now giving us our 2 endpoints of the segment. And so now what I need to do is place my compass edge right here on the end. You're going to make it a little bigger though. Okay, so we need to make it a hair bigger so that it's bigger than halfway. And this is the step that I always call swing high, swing low. I don't know if any of you kind of used that analogy before. But what you're going to do is you're going to swing high here, and then you're going to swing low here. So swing high, swing low. Okay? Now what we're going to do is do the same thing from the other point. So go ahead and flip your compass. Okay? Move it on over to this one. Keep the setting the exact same. Do not move that setting. And then now what I'm going to go ahead and do is swing high, swing low. And so then what ends up happening is you're going to notice.
Are we supposed to go all the way around?
No.
Okay.
And in fact, this is the thing. You don't have to have this stuff in the middle.
Okay,
so in other words, what ends up happening is you might end up having something that looks like this. As long as they intersect, that's fine. The only reason I use the whole arcs is because it's easier for me when I'm using this board. You know, otherwise I'd have to shut the pen off and all of that. So that's why I do it that way. Now all we need to do is go ahead and draw our line through that. Okay, so go ahead and connect.
Isn't this the same thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what we did yesterday.
It's exactly what you did yesterday, except for we're saying we want the perpendicular on this line. It's the perpendicular bisector of...
Only for the 1 point?
Yeah, it's the perpendicular bisector of this segment, but we're talking about the whole line. Okay, so that's the difference.
So you have to like make your own segment.
Yeah, you're making your own segment, and basically...
Can you just put your dots wherever you want? Well, like, as long as you keep them the same.
Yeah. Yep. So now let's go and look at this next one. It says construct a perpendicular through a point not on the line. Oh, so if you remember, we're going to kind of do the exact same thing we just got done doing. Remember, we put our compass, that was the very first step. We put our compass on that point, right? So I'm going to put my compass on this point. And then if you remember what we did, the next step is I went ahead and swung low and high. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm going to make a mark there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, where it's at again, and I'm going to make the same mark. So I'm going to move that compass out of the way so that you can see what you've done.
So okay, we kind of made them large.
Yep, you can make them smaller, larger. They just have to be on the line somewhere.
And then do you just do the same?
And then now what we're going to do is these 2 marks right here, these 2 arcs, these are our segment, just like the problem before. And so based on that segment, I'm going to find the perpendicular bisector there. and then I will go ahead and draw the line through it. So to find the perpendicular bisector, if you remember, I'm going to start here, place my compass tip here. You're going to need to make it a little bigger though. Okay, so we're going to need to make the compass mark a little bigger, and then this is where you're going to swing low. There we go. I got the arc to work now, so you can see I'm only going to do partial arc. And high. You said make it a little bigger. You're going to have to make your compass opening a little bigger than the segment that you used to start. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to now just move my compass over to the second point, just like I got done doing. You're going to make your arc up, and then you're going to make your arc low. Now all we have to do is we have our 3 points there. I have where the purple and the blue have intersected, and then I have the dot in between. I'm just going to go ahead and draw my line through those 3. Oops, that one's a little off. Okay, we can kind of move that one over a little bit. There, that's a little bit better. And there you go. That is your perpendicular. And so if we were to measure using our protractor, we should end up getting this to be roughly 90 degrees. So for kicks, let's just see how well we did. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring up the protractor and see how close we were to 90. Ah, we're pretty darn close, folks. Pretty darn close.
Just a smidge off.
So, yep, just a smidge off, but that's really not bad. So, anyway, that is how you construct a perpendicular through a point on a line and through a point not on a line. Now, what I need you to do is I need you to turn to page 156 in your book. Page 156. What I need you to do is I need you to do 1, 2, 3, and 5 on page 156. I gotta close out the protractor.
On the lesson?
Page 156, 1, 2, 3, and 5. And you have the rest of the time to work. If you have questions, please ask.